Karan died from his injuries, and investigators would determine it to be a murder-robbery. Through the course of the investigation, police interviewed P, the surviving victim. P provided them with a description stating the suspect was approximately 6 feet tall, 200 pounds with a mohawk, and a possible tattoo on his face. Time will go by since the day of the...
Man, you let somebody smoke you with a mohawk, huh? Don't get me wrong. I know mohawks used to be the thing. I think I may have had everybody had a mohawk on trip, especially back then. But I just can't see that. Nah, bro. You ain't finna smoke me. You got a mohawk. Nah. Fam bam. Man, what's happening? What's cracking with y'all, man? Welcome back to the channel, though. Welcome back to another video. If you new, man, you know what to do, man. Go ahead and like, sub, comment, all that good stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm kind of low on energy today, man. I guess I went to bed kind of late, but I go to bed late every night, though. I know I need a haircut. A lot of times, man, when I need a haircut, bro, my energy be down, bro. I ain't saying, like, I'm not handsome, you feel me? But I can't cap, like, when I have a lineup, man, I feel a lot better about myself. You know, so a lot of fellas probably like that, too, to be honest. But, hey, we tapped in, man. You know what I mean? So, we got to talk about this, bro. I was just watching the Rollo situation, and I didn't even know that my boy T90 Jake had tapped in on Rollo or QCP. So we got to tap in on both of them, because word on the streets, like, and it's really ever since this Young Thug situation has been brought to light, bro. It's like Rollo and P, their name keep being brought up when it comes to rapping or music industry and snitching. So I know my boy Big Bubba, 1090J, shout out to my dog, you feel what I'm saying? He do a great job at getting to the bottom of hip hop people or people in the music industry claiming to be gangster, claiming to be street guys, but in actuality they be telling. So we're gonna tap into QCP's on, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's happening with that one, man. Shout out 1090J for the content, man. If you don't know who Big Bubba 1090J is, man, go sub his channel, man. Hey, I ain't gonna count. A lot of people don't like 1090J. They call him a culture vulture, man. But I think 1090J be doing the Lord's work. I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. Because a lot of these rappers, a lot of these entertainers, bro, they be leading the youth astray, bro. So I feel like 1090J, even Whack 100, they exposing them. Hey, keep exposing them. You smell me? No cap. So let's get into it.
Back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, and I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on P from the QC music label, the CEO of the music label, snitching on a man and getting him a 20-year prison sentence. May 27th, 2010. It was 8:45 p.m. when an off-duty officer working at the Lenox Mall in Atlanta advised over the radio he was with a man who stated a black man named Keon was leaving the mall in a brown tinted 4-door, and that Keon was wanted for murder. 2 additional officers responded to the area, locating a brown Oldsmobile matching the description given. The vehicle was pulled over with 2 men and a woman inside, with the front passenger being identified as Ontario's Keon McClinton, who officers confirmed had a murder warrant out of Fulton County. An investigator arrived at the mall where the call originated and met with Pierre Thomas, who's more commonly known as P, the CEO of Quality Control Music. P stated to the investigator he was at the mall when he recognized the man he knew as Keon. P told the investigator Keon was the same man who previously shot him and killed his friend, which led to the warrant for murder. P would continue by telling the investigator he confronted Keon, even chasing him to his vehicle where Keon grabbed a handgun. That's when P would run for the mall as Keon chased behind him, saying,
The rabbit got the gun now. Boy, I can see P big ass out there running for his life. You chasing this man to his car. I ain't gonna even cap, bro. Me personally, and I ain't no street guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm a law-abiding citizen. I pay my taxes, you feel me? But I'm not finna walk nobody to their car, man. I'm finna go and do what I gotta do to them before they get to the car. So maybe P, he's probably not as street as we think he is. Because I feel like that was not even PR street at all. Like, you know that man supposedly did something to your homie, bro. Why is you following him to his vehicle? You should have splat his ass right in. That what a real G would have done.
And kill you. P would state he was in fear for his life, hid in the mall, and came back out to see Keon was leaving the area. P would also provide a written statement.
No.
According to the written statement, Pierre listed himself as a victim or witness and wrote, "I confronted him about murder and chased him to the car. He got a pistol and chased me in the mall, threatening to kill me." The officer would write, "How do you know the subject?" And P would answer, "He shot me and killed my friend." The officer then asked, "What type of gun was it?" And P answered, "A black handgun." On a second piece of paper, the officer would ask, "Did he make any comments?" And P would write, "I'm gonna kill you." The officer then wrote, "Did you fear for your life?" And P answered, "Yes."
With an exclamation mark. Now, if y'all don't know what exclamation marks mean like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like no cap means like definite, means like loud, mean like if he could have said it, bro, it would have been with confidence. It would have been confirmation. It would have been like, yes! You know what I'm saying?
But
to snitch to another level,
paper along with the witnessing officer who received the statement. Keon would be read his Miranda rights before saying he was at the mall when a man with a red hat approached him, repeatedly asking if he knew him and saying he knew who he was. Keon said the man's friends began to surround him when he took off running to the car. Reaching the car, he pointed his finger at the man with the hat who was now leaving the scene. Keon denied having the firearm or pointing one at anyone. The vehicle would be impounded and no weapon would be recovered, but Keon would be charged with aggravated assault anyways and taken to jail to also face the murder warrant. 8 days later, Keon would be indicted on charges of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony for allegedly pointing a handgun and threatening Pierre Thomas. Within the witness list, P would be the only civilian listed, and his statement would be the only evidence against Keon. Incarcerated for roughly 3 months, Keon would be indicted on 7 new charges. The state would allege that on December 8th, 2009, Pierre Thomas, or P, went over to an apartment complex belonging to Karan Dennis. P had intended on playing Xbox and betting on a basketball game within the apartment that was said to be a marijuana trap house. While at the apartment, a man that evidence later identified as Keon arrived looking for the apartment owner, Karan, who was outside walking the dog. P told Keon to come back a little later. Karan would make his way back to the apartment, and not long after, Keon would arrive looking to buy marijuana. When Karan went to get it, Keon was said to have opened fire, shooting Karan multiple times before firing at P. P would run for the sliding glass door, making his way 2 apartments over, where he told the tenant he'd been shot and to call the police.
Now, I don't know if P told, but this is so detailed, bro. And the other dude died. So it had to be somebody that was there to tell this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, P ain't really came out and said he was a rat or snitch or none of that. I think he may have said he's a law-abiding citizen. He's not a street guy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that at the end of the video. But somebody who would have had to tell this, bro. And one guy went to prison. You know he ain't tell on himself, and the other guy died. So who else told it?
Karan would die from his injuries, and investigators would determine it to be a murder-robbery. Through the course of the investigation, police interviewed P, the surviving victim. P provided them with a description stating the suspect was approximately 6 feet tall, 200 pounds with a mohawk, and a possible tattoo on his face. Time will go by since the day of...
Man, you let somebody smoke you with a mohawk, huh? Don't get me wrong. I know mohawk used to be the thing. I think I may have had everybody had a mohawk on tripping, especially back then. But I just can't see, nah, bro. You ain't finna smoke me. You got no mohawk, though. Nah. Now, if you got a bald head, nigga, I'm scared.
And P would occasionally relay information to the police about stuff that he had heard on the street, identifying Keon, a suspect, or who he heard might have been responsible for killing his friend. He provided some info to the police, and they were able to put a person into a photo lineup, but P did not make an identification. A few more months went by, and P provided information to the police that he had heard that the suspect goes by the name Stunner, and he'd previously been shot in a club. Looking into the nickname, police were able to identify Keon as having used that nickname and having been a shooting victim. 5 months had now passed since P had been shot, and with a new photo lineup presented, P was able to positively identify Keon, or Stunner, as the man who shot him and killed his friend. Police believed it was apparent P had seen a photograph of Stunner prior to viewing the lineup. Because of the positive identification, the warrant for murder went out, and 3 weeks after, P would confront Stunner in the mall before running for his life. Stunner would write a letter to the judge and call out P for his lies that led to his incarceration. He'd introduce himself and say, "I have been incarcerated for approximately 6 months under false pretenses." The accusee, Mr. Pierre Thomas, has made false accusations such as claiming that I shot at him and supposedly killed his friend. Fearing that I would retaliate and seek vengeance for him shooting me 4 times on April 30th of 2010, Pierre Thomas went down to the police department.
So now he ratting. Now he snitching. Bro, I ain't gonna cap, bro. Every time I get more disappointed in these street guys every day. I'm so glad I decided to change my life and walk the right way. Go get me a job, get me a wife, man, and build this social media empire, bro. I'm so glad I didn't listen to street guys saying YouTube is lame and all this. I'm so glad they said, "Don, you ain't living it, but you rapping it, bro," because these Negroes would have had me in the chain gang. Now he's snitching, bro. Now he's snitching. You know, it's like, who the fuck? Like is everybody ratting folk? Like, ain't nobody holding it down and being solid? Nobody? So don't nobody want to go to jail? Nobody. Everybody want to commit crimes. Everybody want to be like that. Everybody want to be one of them ones. Everybody want to be a street ninja. But don't nobody want to go sit they dumb ass in the chain gang. That's what I'm getting, bro.
Took a warrant out on me. So in a surprising turn of events, Stunner was now claiming P previously shot him.
This crazy.
Or knows who shot
These
him.
niggas tattletale.
Because P thought Stunner was gonna retaliate, P went to the police and snitched on Stunner.
This crazy work, bro.
We gonna take out the competition.
We can't even make that kind of snitching up.
2012.
And Jake got paperwork.
Stunner would be re-indicted, now facing a total of 10 charges, including murder, 2 felony murders, and 2 aggravated assaults. All charges would stem from the 2 incidents involving P, the initial shooting at the apartment, and the mall confrontation. 4 days later, Stunner would be ready to face sentencing. According to the guilty plea transcripts, a then 30-year-old Stunner stood in front of a judge as she explained he was charged with 10 counts, but the state had agreed to dismiss 6 of them. He pled guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The state would go over the 2 cases and 2 witnesses, Karan Dennis and Pierre Thomas. The judge would receive the details of the shooting, the cooperation of Pierre Thomas, and how Stunner was able to be identified solely by Pierre Thomas's voluntary cooperation by steadily supplying investigators with tips as the months progressed. Pierre would confront Stunner in a mall before running for his life and immediately sought the police as he told them of the murder warrant he helped secure against Stunner. This arrest would place new charges on Stunner where yet again, Pierre Thomas was the only witness and his statement was the main piece of evidence linking Stunner to any crime. Pierre would be notified by the prosecutors of the negotiations that had been agreed to, and Stunner would be sentenced to 20 years in state prison with 10 to serve and the remainder to be served on probation. Only a year after Stunner's sentencing, Pierre Thomas, who we all now know as P, would co-found Quality Control Music, becoming the CEO of one of Atlanta's rising music labels. With a superstar roster like the MIGOS, Lil Yachty, Lil Baby, and many more, P's power, wealth, and fame would also be on the rise, with only those close to the city knowing what took place before his career took off.
I ain't even kill.
Given credit for the 2 years spent in jail, it wouldn't be until May of 2019 when Stunner was approved for parole. Stunner's oldest child was 9 years old when he went away, and 10 years later, the two had plenty to catch up on. But unfortunately, their time together would be cut short.
Shortly after 8 o'clock this morning, officers respond to a person shot. When they arrived, they located one black male in his late 30s, deceased from several gunshot wounds. They were able to locate certain items of evidence, including some shell casings. Right now, we're canvassing the neighborhood, trying to find any witnesses or any video footage of what happened. We have been speaking with some neighbors who did call 911 after reporting hearing gunshots. At this time, we're still trying to determine a motive or who the suspects are. But at this time, we do believe that it was a targeted shooting based on witness accounts.
Stunner was pronounced dead after being shot multiple times, and what police determined was a targeted shooting. The last court document in this case would be a petition to terminate probation, with the reason being his death certificate. Stunner only lasted...
Why they wanted his probation terminated? I mean, I ain't in the legal stuff, bro. You feel me? I'm just asking. Don't be looking at me like I'm retarded or something.
7 months in the free world. And with the details of this case being publicly available for over a decade, it's hard to imagine why now in 2023, it's making its way around the internet as if nobody knew. And after this video, there will be little to no room for debate, as we all can now see P snitched on Stunner. Now this paperwork, it's clear cut.
That's a fact. That's a
in
fact.
2 different ways. The paperwork that hit the internet was fuzzy, looked a little funny. The paperwork I got is clear as day. This is 4K paper.
How you be getting this paperwork, Jake? I bet Jake be dropping them racks to get paperwork to expose these niggas, bro.
But it's clear cut in the sense that it's publicly available. Anybody can get it. And he clearly fucking told. He cooperated in the mall saying, oh, this man's over here and he got a warrant for murder. But not only that, he cooperated and helped secure the warrant for the murder. Now you can say the initial description he gave was throwed, and it was. That was the reason the murder was dropped, was because of the initial description. But at the end of the day, it also states that P stayed in contact with investigators, letting them know whatever he heard on the street. So P was tapping into the streets, hearing this, that, and the third, and then relaying that same information
back to the police.
Homicide investigators. Yeah. Aside from a grainy picture that the surveillance cameras at the mall got of Stunner with something in his hand that might have resembled a gun, P was the only evidence of the aggravated assault at the mall and of the murder and attempted murder. It's clear cut. P from QC snitched. And I talked to somebody that said, oh, this is about to break the internet. I don't think it will. For 2 reasons.
They don't kill, bro.
One,
they don't kill.
It seems like everybody in Atlanta already knew this.
Yeah.
Whether they're speaking out about it or not. For 2, the question will be, was he in the streets? So we're just going to have to wait and see how everything plays out. But as far as the paperwork goes, it don't look good. It never will look good. And he definitely told.
Facts.
But let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090.
Facts, man. I ain't gonna cap, bro. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I honestly don't even care if P told or not. Well, I can't say I don't care, because even though I've never heard P tell anybody to do wrong or tell anybody to sell drugs or drill or kill, honestly, P, every time I hear P speak, he try to tell the young people, old people, whoever, how the streets is not the life. You feel me? But this is my thing, bro, and I do understand that it's entertainment. It's a money play. It's an industry. My whole thing is this, gang. You got rich off of street culture, bro. You You feel me? You got rich off of your artists glorifying street culture. Your artists, they don't post to like rats, bro. Your artists, they are supposed to be killers, bro. Drillers, bro. The only one I can honestly say really don't supposed to be that is Lil Yachty, bro. You got rich off of female being whores, selling they vagina, and guys saying they trapping and killing and things of that nature. Now, we know it's entertainment. It's strictly entertainment. I think the only artist you kind of had to blow up that may have been in the streets a little bit is Lil Baby. We know MIGOS ain't. Nah, I think Offset, of course, you feel me? But I don't even think Offset, he far removed from the streets also. But I do believe Lil Baby, he had his hand, feet, knees, and toes in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why they saying that's why Marlo lost his life. They wanted Lil Baby. They couldn't catch him, so they got Marlo. That's just what I heard. You feel me? But as far as like being really, really in the streets, P really ain't had no artist that I can say really, really was deep down in them Atlanta streets, bro. But he got rich off of it, which means he glorified it. You feel me? Even though he's saying, hey man, don't be in the street, don't do this, man. He got rich off of glorifying what actually goes on in the streets. Now, is P a snitch? Of course he's a snitch, bro. If this paperwork is accurate, bro, which we know it is because everybody been saying it, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Atlanta already knew, bro, but I don't know if Atlanta looked at P as being a street guy, a tough guy, or just somebody getting money. But I feel like, bro, if you selling dope, bro, you just as much of a street guy than somebody who killing folk. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to being street, bro, ain't no street crime bigger than the next. So if you ask me, P was in the streets. He was a street guy. So for him to go tell, of course, he's a snitch. Now, P say he ain't in the streets. P say he's a law-abiding citizen. P say he ain't trying to do none of that with nobody. He don't care about nothing nobody saying, and that's cool. All I'm saying is though, bro, okay, if you don't care about the streets, why are you glorifying it by getting your $300 million off of the street culture? You are just as guilty as Adam 22 and Vlad TV, the bloggers, me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a street guy either. But I react to street stuff, so I'm kind of picking up a bag off of street music. But I also tell people, look, don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. I know y'all probably thinking like, bro, it's a double-edged sword, bro. What's good for the guan, good for the geese, bro. But I just feel like if you in the streets doing street business, you know what come with it. So if your partner get killed, you're not supposed to tell. That's just how I feel. But it is what it is, man. Get your money, get your coins, get your ducats, man. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like that video. Don't forget to sub it up. After you sub it up, make sure you ring that bell. After y'all ring that bell, make sure y'all hit all, man. Because I don't want y'all to make the bank for you, feel me? 2100 by the day, 3K we on the way, man. Road to 10K, that 100K plaque, we got that. All we gotta do is believe. If you believe, you can achieve. That's cliche as hell, but it's fact though. Stay consistent, stay grinding, control what you can control. And the only thing we really can control, bro, is our hustle. No cap. I go by Don. I love y'all. Mod life or no life. Mod well, no way. Y'all know how we coming. OTM, we gonna scrap the mud, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. Let's get it. Gang. You know we got the streets, nigga. We got the trap too. I say my trap doing numbers. I just bust another jewel. Got a player around the corner. Hey. I say my trap doing numbers like that 05 summer. Got a quarter pound on me. Hey. The trap doing numbers. The trap.